Motherfucking haters, you dug one ditch, but you better dig goddamn two. Cause the narrow red is gonna reign supreme, and I say motherfuck you. I done told you, Tiara, if they close the front door, goddamn it, you bust a hole in the wall. If they patch the wall up, goddamn it, dig a hole in the motherfucking ground. If they drill a hole up in the ground, goddamn it,
Straight up to my nose, up like my shit don't stink on my to the bank,
stand up and take
boy, what's up, motherfucking Ericka King? Straight out, no sense. Young, black, and arrogant, girl, I'm so perfect. But jury made me arrogant, that's why your girl flirty. People say I'm arrogant, I live like extravagant. So fresh, I look like a mannequin. I scored again, first 10. Shawty got that wrist skin. I paid that girl from Washington. Hit the road in the strip club. Can't stop this girl from watching him. Can't stop your old lady from jacking him. Rich nigga, I know I watch with him. Young nigga got a father cat drop with him. Straight off shit, and he got the whole cup with him. Pull up in that red rain, the same color of blush name from Zone 6. The cat came from Pleaser, the club light. I was on 28 days, I've been rolling for 8 days. I talk shit with 8 Ks, I burn a nigga. Keep waiting to my nose up like my shit don't stink. On my arrogant shit, all the way to the bank. Straight off, bitch. I'm so arrogant. I'm so arrogant. Straight off, bitch. I'm so arrogant. I'm so arrogant. I know so like my shit don't stink. On my arrogant shit, all the way to the bank. Bitch, I'm so arrogant. I'm so arrogant. Straight off, bitch. My shit don't stink. And I'm laughing all the way to the bank. You niggas ain't talking about bitch ass thing. My car running, my top gone. Last night you were drunk, girl, out the same reason you got home. I took you to the hotel, I squeezed that and I got down. Bad bitch, they love me, stupid contest my iPhone. That fat ass with my eyes on. Meet a bitch the first day, then I touch down like Enzo. Trap phone, my sprint phone. Ugly hoe, get the wrong number. Pulled up in that chrome hummer. Your old lady in that old hummer. My neck look like a whole jumper. Pulled up with my ceiling ass, top gone like Janet Jackson. I'm laughing at y'all scrub niggas. Y'all niggas funny like Michael Blackson. Keep my nose up like my shit don't stink. On my arrogant shit all the way to the bank. Bitch, I'm so arrogant. I'm so arrogant. Straight up, bitch. I'm so arrogant. I'm so arrogant. Took my nose up like my shit don't stink. On my arrogant shit all the way to the bank. Straight up, bitch. I'm so arrogant. I'm so arrogant. Straight up, bitch. I'm so clean, I don't take no shit. My dick made out of platinum, I don't take no piss. Double cheese all on me, I take your shit. Designer really to create my wrist. I'm so arrogant, obsessed with myself, so I'm like fuck everybody. Every bitch love me, so I'm like fuck everybody. It's so many of these white diamonds, my timepiece, my neck piece. She out on my job strap, now her boyfriend trying to check me. Colombians and Migos, I'm on them, so they take me. That shit took nigga short that y'all fuck nigga can't take me. Colombians and Migos, I'm on them, so they take me. That shit took nigga short that y'all fuck nigga can't take me. To my nose up like my shit don't stink. On my arrogant shit, all the way to the bank. Look, bitch, I'm so arrogant. I'm so arrogant. Straight up, bitch. I'm so arrogant. I'm so arrogant. Straight up to my nose up like my shit don't stink. On my arrogant shit, all the way straight up, bank. Bitch, I'm so arrogant. I'm so arrogant. Straight up, bitch. I'm so bitch.
All right, and shout out and thank our sponsor for tonight. That was Dinero Red. It's called Arrogant, and that is featuring Alexis K. Tyler. That is her son. And they gracefully was giving us permission tonight to play that song, being that it's one of my favorites off his catalog. And so I want to thank Alexis K. Tyler and all the people that support her for sponsoring tonight's show. Well, guys, we are here. We are here because we've had some arrogant behavior. When you talk about tonight's topic, the breaking news, Shirley Strawberry husband, 5 new charges. And we have a letter to read. Well, we have a lot to get into, so let's get into it.
What's a girl to do? She needs love. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Oh nah. Give it to me like you need it, baby. Want you to hear me screaming, have it breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. I want it till you can't buy. I can get it to you right, baby. I wanna be in your lane. I can be real good. Please don't get any feelings. Hey, I need some love.
On a number of fraud charges.
Fox 5's Denise Dillon talked to Roswell police about the pair's extensive business scheme and why they believe there are more victims.
Police say for years these two would convince people to give them money, and in return they would help them with their business or personal goals. But investigators say it was nothing but a scam.
I would consider them fraudsters.
Roswell police say for years Earnest Williams and Ericka King passed themselves off
All right, let's go ahead and
as
get back up
experts
into
in
this.
various fields.
Let's get back up into this because when we talk about the arrogance of it all, let's go ahead and make sure we go ahead and do this right. All right, let's get into it.
And they would align themselves with their victims with promises of being able to grow their brand.
Extensive business scheme and why they believe there are more victims.
Police say for years these two would convince people to give them money, and in return they would help them with their business or personal goals. But investigators say it was nothing but a scam.
I would consider them fraudsters.
Roswell police say for years Earnest Williams and Ericka King passed themselves off as experts in various fields.
And they would align themselves with their victims with promises of being able to grow their brands, their missions, their life goals, their social media followings.
Detectives say Williams and King acted the part, and people paid good money for their services, but walked away with nothing. Police say it was all a scam.
More than a dozen victims and over $1 million in monetary and property loss.
Police say their investigation first started at this home on Pine Grove Road months ago. Investigators say after Williams and King hadn't paid rent for a while, detectives started looking into their financial transactions, and it led them to their extensive scheme. Police say they were convincing.
Individuals who have been doing this for a significant period of time and are proficient enough that they can make people comfortable and act against their better judgment.
Williams and King are now in jail, both facing multiple charges of fraud, forgery, and theft. Police warn if you want to grow your business, make sure you work with a legitimate company.
All right, so when we talk about, giving advice and showing up on a show, you have people writing in letters, and it's very interesting that, there's a letter that's now being read all over social media. And that's Shirley Strawberry's husband, Earnest Williams. He has a past of, they say fraud, defrauding people out of their money, claiming that they'll help with their brand, their social media. And nowadays, guys, when it comes to like branding and when you talk about social media, yeah, everybody's on social media now. It's not like, yeah, word of mouth is amazing, but social media is where it's at. And so when you talk about investing into your life and into your craft, into your content, and thinking that you are going to get great results because, allegedly the proof was presented. But to know that it was all a scam and you got ripped off, I could only imagine, how those individuals felt. Okay. That's a lot, And when you talk about this upstanding woman, right, that's on a syndicated radio talk show that's hosted all around the world. Now, I'm not putting this sister down. I just want this sister to make an exit and make it quick. Well, that's the advice that she had given someone else. That's the advice that she had given someone else. I had listened to a Strawberry Letter before I had come on because I wanted to get the feel. I said I need to really just gauge on how I'm going to conduct this conversation tonight. I don't want to come off as, I'm just going at her, but I'm going at her. Mhm. And so when we talk about intuition and we talk about the history, now, if my husband had a history of fraud, I think that I would do like a wellness check on him. That'll definitely be in place. That's what the boundaries. I would definitely make the situation a boundary, you know, um, as far as the spending habits, it would be an allowance, because most of these guys are kept husbands anyway. Okay. So I would give him an allowance and I would monitor and make sure he is registered. I would make sure he is following protocol because the mistakes that my husband make, they will reflect me. Whether if I was there, whether if I knew or whatever the case may be, it's going to reflect back to me because I am his closest anything. I mean, I'm his closest person that he would share those intimate moments with and those vulnerable moments with. And shoot, sometimes not, because when you think about this, the husbands, in the news, honey, they have secrets, honey. And ladies, I've got to chime in and say, kind of, it's some of our fault, in a single parent home, and us talking to our girlfriends, or even not even in a single parent home, even in a home period, and discussing and having adult conversations around our children. Because for one, we are their role models, right? And so we have to take it back. We have to take it back and say, well, where did all this start with Ernest? I know this didn't start yesterday, 5 years ago. I mean, this guy was out in the 80s, really making bank for the system. Because if you don't know, when you go into a lockup, they make money. Money is made. If you are there, you're occupying that facility. That's money. And sometimes when they go down to the big house, they collaborate with other individuals, inmates, allegedly. We'll just leave it there. You know how that goes in prison. And if you don't know, I mean, guys, I think I'm going to have to come out with a prison talk where I will get a prisoner on the line and we could talk about it. Like, what is life like in there? You know, what are the pros? What are the cons? You know, do you feel like it's a benefit? Because when I look at individuals that are in prison, you know, on these TikToks, on their social media, and how they engage, I mean, there's a lot of teamwork going on. hmm hmm Oh, yeah. There's a lot of teamwork going on. And like I said, instead of being a kept woman, I mean, a kept wife, I mean, a kept partner, instead of being a kept partner and just enjoying the ride, going on the vacations, going out to the company parties, no, no, that wasn't enough. And sometimes, you know, when it comes to the fraud and addiction, and unless you get the help that you need, and I mean a professional, like go and talk to a professional, weigh out your options, and yeah, that would be my suggestion. Well, apparently, Shirley Strawberry has some suggestions as well. And so I want to go ahead and refresh our memory. And actually, guys, here, let me check. Let me jump in the studio with you guys to see what the audio is audioing. And we will push forward from that. Okay? See something real quick. All right, so we are good. We are great. I hope you guys are having a wonderful night tonight. Tonight, like I said, we are discussing the breaking news. There are new charges for Shirley Strawberry's husband, Earnest Williams. If you guys have not heard about it, let's get into it. Let's see how Shirley Strawberry handles a caller with the strawberry letter. How you doing?
Legally. The man you're married to, you said in your letter, he's crazy, not to mention stalkerish. Quite frankly, he does scare me with what he's doing to your man. He's harassing your man just because he can. I say get away from him. He sounds like he's just waiting for the right moment to pin something on your boyfriend.
Well, Shirley Strawberry. It's the advice that you give to other individuals, allegedly. Well, we can't say allegedly because this is you and you're responding to the strawberry letter. So your feedback, once again, is on a syndicated radio talk show, you know. Let's get into it.
This is not a game. I mean, something terrible can happen. It can happen. So I just think you or your boyfriend shouldn't even mess with the police. Your boyfriend's talking about catching him off duty. No, don't even do that. I mean, we've seen too many incidents from different circumstances, of course, but don't give your husband a reason.
Yeah, because we don't want them to go down a big road, right? Because it'll be prison. And when we talk about prison and committing crimes, Shirley's husband is no stranger to it. Roswell police are searching for potential victims who were targeted in a $1 million fraud scheme. Mhm. Oh, we got a new member. Miss M, shout out to you for becoming a member. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We definitely want to thank you so much. Thank you all so much for supporting Queen Tulsa, the show, whether it's a like, a share, a subscribe, a Cash App, a PayPal, or a Zelle. Thank you for coming by and watching the show. And this is your commercial for being acknowledged for just being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, who would be watching? Thank you for tuning in. I want to personally come and welcome our royal member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the royal family, Miss M. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming along on the journey of adventure, because you never know what topics we'll be talking about, but it's fun, engage, and oh my goodness, let's get into the show. But we definitely want to honor and respect you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the royal family. Gratitude. Oh my goodness. Oh, I almost choked up. Okay, let's go.
Literally and figuratively pull the trigger. I mean, you need to get a lawyer. You need to handle this, get your divorce, then consider moving on.
Okay, so Shirley, you know, the people are pretty much asking you the same questions, or are you getting that same advice? I mean, is Steve, you know, what is Steve saying? Because, you know, act like a woman, yeah, act like a man. I'm not really sure. I know there was a book that he had wrote, and he wanted to empower women, you know, and so I don't know. I hope you're empowered to make the right decision. And there are 5 new charges for your husband. Now, we hadn't gotten to that yet. We're still on the fraud and the defrauding of, you know, innocent people that work so hard, blood, sweat, and tears to save money and, you know, to make an investment into themselves. I don't think criminals understand when you had to get it, maybe from waiting tables, maybe from working 2 or 3 jobs, you know, or doing something strange for some change. You never know how someone did what they did to invest into themselves. And we're not going to shame anybody. The goal is for them not to do what they were doing. You know, Miss M says, thank you. I love your energy. I like your energy. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it, you love it, and you want some more of it. Now, speaking of wanting more of it, let's get into Shirley Strawberry and what she had to say.
Steve Harvey is actually coming out to defend a long-time friend, that is SHIRLEYSTRAWBERRY, following a couple of allegations.
Okay.
And following is Shirley
Reconnected with an old friend that moved back to the city recently, and I told him about all the drama with my marriage, and he told me that I was safe with him.
Okay, so with all the trauma and alleged trauma with Ernest, my question to Shirley is, did you ever consider therapy, as far as his trauma? Because I know in 2018, when I got married, I'm married with a lot of trauma. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm married with a lot of trauma, things that I had not taken care of. And, it took I'm not going to say one bad experience, but it took one eye-waking experience for me to wake up out of the fairy tale life that I was living. It was a fairy tale. Nothing was my fault. I'm just going to blame my past. I'm just going to dwell in this hurt. It is what it is. I was mad at the world because of what people had done to me. I was mad. I didn't understand it until I had to sit myself down and say, sister, you wasn't mad. You wasn't mad. You was in despair. You was traumatized. You were victimized. And when you needed to speak up, you didn't have the resources available for you. Yes. It's so important for us to check our mental health. I didn't know what it was. People call me crazy. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I was just extraordinary. But I didn't know that I was shielding myself because, it was different type of tactics. I mean, it was, it's like when you're going through that storm, you really don't understand it. You just, I don't know. It just happens. It just happens. But just going through that storm, or what I call the storm, I'm forever grateful because I have so many experiences. I have so much wisdom from it, and I was able to grow from it. And so when we talk about addictions, there's no more excuses. Oh, well, well, my family did this, or, I'm just, I'm hurt. Okay, well, go get the help. Help is available. Let's encourage our counterparts, male and female, to entertain their wellness. They want to entertain it. Let's entertain our wellness. Let's entertain our mental health. Let's entertain breaking those generational curses. Let's entertain that. Let's entertain making a difference in the world, Because I've known people that went down the road and come out and change their life. Angela Stanton King. A lot of people, well, I'm not going to say a lot of people, some people felt the way about her, but I've always loved that sister. It was just something about her. You know, she wrote her book, and that was, you know, she had her baby chained to um, a bed in jail, and her baby was taken from her arms. And now, present day, she has Auntie Angie's house. And when I tell you, it's not where you start, it's not what people say about you, it's not what people believe. Do you believe in you? Auntie Angie is opening up a second home for women expecting children. They don't have nowhere to go. She opened one house, I want to say it was this year, and then she's going to be opening the second location in September. So let's definitely support Auntie Angie's house, support all life. And that's what she's geared towards. That's what that's what her organization is about. I'm going to bring up Auntie Angie's house.com, and I'm actually going to share it with you all so you can go over, check out Auntie Angie House. This is a Black woman doing something wonderful in the community for all women. So if you know of any women in the community, maybe expecting, don't know what to do, don't feel like it's a resource out there, you let them know that there is a resource out there, and it's called Auntie Angie's House. And I did put the link in there to the website where you can go on. This is Auntie Angie's house. Like I said, this Auntie Angie, I'll give you here. Let's go to her about and see what's going on here. Okay, so beautiful picture, mother, daughter, our mother and son. Our mission is to eradicate the Black maternal health crisis through research, advocacy, support, education, and awareness. At Auntie Angie's house, we provide housing, training, and resources to pregnant women in need or facing a crisis. Expectations and guidelines. Over 18 years of age, new mothers are currently pregnant with certified results from doctor. Pregnancy tests required upon entry. All applicants must pass background check. Prior charges and convictions will exclude you from the program. Oh, no. Let me reread that. All applications must pass background check. Prior charges and convictions will not exclude you from the program. No smoking, vaping, or alcohol allowed in home. This is a drug-free facility. No drugs are allowed on the property. Willing to abide by expectation in the residence manual. Betterment physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Signing up with professional advocate classes in the community. Taking classes provided in the home. Working on weekly goals. Attending church services and devotions. Continual, large and small, daily action scheduled to betterment their lives and their children, babies, and take correction when necessary. Willingness to progress in the program and apply themselves. The mothers can quit the program at any time within a 24-hour notice for a proper checkout. If they do choose to leave, they cannot return. If a mother leaves without consent and proper approval, they are agreeing to leave the program at that time. They can also be dismissed from the program by the administration at any time. If the mother breaks guidelines or requirements set to help and protect the babies, mothers, and any personnel on the property, as well as the mother and her child. No visitors to protect all women in the home. No weapons, no pets. All right. What we provide: a stable home environment, a nutritious food and nutritious food. The mothers will also learn to cook for themselves and others in the home during house meals, creating a time to sit and eat as a family unit. Maternity and infant supplies will be provided through the program. Weekly one-on-one mentor sessions with Auntie Angie's house staff. Transportation to professional appointments must be approved. No personal trips. Support, encouragement, and accountability by full-time staff. Life skills, life skill courses on topics such as childbirth, nutrition, budgeting, entrepreneurship, and parenting. Referrals to community agencies, programs including adoption counseling, job training, professional counseling, and low cost housing. Access to education programs include high school equivalency and vocational training, knowledge of state programs, including health insurance, daycare, subsidies, food stamps, child support or TANF, and cash assistance. An opportunity for spiritual growth through weekly Bible studies and church services attending is required. So you guys can go over there. So this, oh my goodness, I see myself having a safe house, safe place for my organization or foundation one day. But here, let's see who their community partners are. I can't see the screen. If you guys are commenting, I do apologize. So just give me 1 second. I'm just over here. Let's see. The community partners are Auntie Angie's community partners share a commitment to eradicate the Black maternal health crisis through research, advocacy, support, education, and awareness. AAH is proud to work with our community partners in our fight to keep the dream alive. We believe effective partnerships are essential for community-based solutions for advancing health equity by making it a shared vision and value, increasing the community's capacity to shape outcomes. So they have Thumbprint Realty, the Embassy ATL, Enchants, BCF, Micro Me, Station Publishing House, Ericka King Ministries, Black Universities of Creatives, Historical Black University of Creatives, The X for Boys, Fierce Faces, A1 IT Consulting, Movemental, and then American King Foundation. Okay, so this is their home screen. If you know anybody in the Atlanta area, they are based in Atlanta. I believe it's 3355 South Lenox Road. I don't know how I remember that, but y'all supposed to be giving commentary. So this is Auntie Angie right here. This is Angela Stan, the lady that I was telling you about that went to jail. She was actually tied into the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Apollo Nida, which was Phaedra's husband at one point in time, and they were doing fraud schemes. And so she's come out, turned her life around, doing something for the community. She's given to the community and not taken from the community. So if that makes sense, you know? So in my opinion, she's given to the community and not taken from it. And so you can always come here, check it out. I put her website in the chat. And this is Auntie Angie House. It's open. It is definitely on YouTube, and you can click that. I don't want to get any copyright. I don't know if she has music or anything in there, so we'll just play it safe. You guys can go over there, check it out, give her some support. And we gotta, when we know better, we do better. Okay, so on that note, here, I'll just go ahead and get into my feelings about the case. Okay, so there are new charges, guys. There are new charges, and I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and read those charges off to you. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and read the charges off to you. Oh, geez, it's a lot. It's very heavy and it's very, very, very dark. I must say this is like a very, very, very dark story. However, let's report. Okay, guys. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Okay, so what I needed to do. Okay, so the new charges. So the new charges are rape, okay, so okay, give me 1 second. So the new charges are rape and
Theft of services.
okay, so let me go ahead and shout out to Chronicle Speaks because this is where I got my information from. So you guys go over there, give Chronicle Speaks a like, a share, and subscribe. Okay, let's see. When I click, it makes me leave here. Most people just take. Yeah, that's not what life is all about. It's like life is about experiences. Life is about, you know, empowering other people. Like if you've got some information and stuff, like, and you can help and build a community, your community, instead of like taking, yeah, definitely give. You know, I'm not saying like give, but you know, don't give to where you don't have none, but you know, show love to the community, like give back. I mean, if we, you know, and these people, they get rich, you know, they get their check. The first thing they do is go and buy all this ice. They go buy these cars. They got to buy this property, this, that, and the third, instead of building a safe space in their community. Who's gonna protect grandma them? Nowadays we got grandma them out here, the young ones snatching grandma purse, taking her money. She's on Social Security. She's on a budget. But you got these young, old. It don't discriminate. Crime don't discriminate on anybody. It does not discriminate on anybody. We all need to be mindful of that. Now, let's go ahead and bring up Earnest. Okay, so guys, Earnest has 5 new charges. The first one was rape. The second one, well, you'll just have to find out right after the break. We'll be right back. Hello, and thank you all for coming out to the Queen Tulsa show. It was all a dream. We finally made it. Listen, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. You have come to the place where you can relax, enjoy, and get the hot topics. We can also engage. You can come up or even you can call in. That number is 725-888-1644. Thank you so much for your loyalty. We made it. I'm so excited. You should be too. Don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend Oh, and make sure you sign up for our perks to get all the exclusives first. Thank you. Guys, we are back, okay? And we have a lot to talk about. All right, so the first charge is gonna be the charge that was added on. The first one is gonna be aggravated SB, battery. The second one, and the date on that's a felony. And the date on that one was February 1st of 2021. And then the second charge is going to be the grape. And that charge is also a felony. And the date on that was January 8th of 2019. Aggravated sodomy is a felony, and that one was on February 1st of 2021. The fourth one was battery. That one was a misdemeanor. That one was on January 8th of 2019. The fifth one, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, that was a felony, and that was on January 8th of 2019. And this is Shirleystrawberry's husband, Earnest Williams. There was a court hearing, and I believe I played it on the channel. And the judge said that there would be, in that bond hearing, the judge was notified that there would be more charges coming. Yeah. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and okay. Give me 1 second. Let's try. Okay. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and bring up some content. I want you guys to, because when I'm telling you this story, I want you guys to be able to follow me. I want you to hear what the judge said, what the judge stated and what he ordered. And this is how it is. Let's go ahead, and without further ado, let's listen.
078, Earnest Williams, 355 days without indictment, $75,000 good bond as of December the 31st, 2022, with 3 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony. Position 4 is 22 CP 212559, 355 days without indictment with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony, and there is a $20,000 split bond as of 10/17/2022. Position 5, 355 days without indictment, 23 CP 215407. I'm assuming you want me to waive, Mr. Lewis?
Sure.
All right. I can say it if you want me to, or do you want me to waive?
I don't think Ms. Williams cares. Well, yeah, wait, Judge.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 other felonies on there that have to do with nudity, let's say. No bond as of January the 13th, 2023. Freak! Rah!
As in regards to Mr. Williams, still other open cases, 22 SC 18443, theft by taking, theft by deception, 22 SC 184-402, theft of services, deposit account fraud. Both of those are assigned to Judge Edwards. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
All right, Judge. You mentioned all the days on Mr. Williams. I don't find it to be a good use of anybody's time to go back through all that. I believe Mr. Williams, my client, is now 59 years old. When I believe when this case first began, he was 58 years of age. Judge, he was born in Augusta, Georgia. He has lived in the Atlanta area since 1994. From 2015 to 2019, he lived in California. He got married in 2015, Judge. He is the father of 6 kids and 4 grandchildren, some of them in the state of Georgia. His oldest granddaughter is a student at Georgia State University. Judge, he has owned grooming parlors, some barbershop, both in Peachtree and Far Road, as well as in Sandy Springs. He sold some businesses, some land to the city of Atlanta in 2016 from those first sets of business.
You know what? When I listen to this, when I hear this, and I heard that attorney speaking, I said his attorney slipped up and said when he stole this, when that attorney said when he stole, I meant when he sold, girl, I started scratching my head. I said, oh, now what's going on? What's going on? Let's get into it.
In 2021, he opened a new location, Nesta's Grooming, which 2 doors down from the old location.
Deposit account fraud. Both of those are assigned to Judge Edwards. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
All right, Judge. You mentioned all the days on Mr. Williams. I don't find it to be a good use of anybody's time to go back through all that. I believe Mr. Williams, my client, is now 59 years old. When I believe when this case first began, he was 58 years of age. Judge, he was born in Augusta, Georgia. He has lived in the Atlanta area since 1994. From 2015 to 2019, he lived in California. He got married in 2015, Judge. He is the father of 6 kids and 4 grandchildren, some of them in the state of Georgia. His oldest granddaughter is a student at Georgia State University. Judge, he has owned grooming parlors, some barbershop, both in Peachtree and Far Road, as well as in Sandy Springs. He sold some businesses, some. University. Judge, he has owned grooming parlors, some barbershop, both in Peachtree and Far Road, as well as in Sandy Springs. He sold some.
Okay, right there in that moment, when you talk about the details, when you talk, this is Earnest's attorney, right? When you talk about how does this well-educated woman get caught up with this guy? How? I mean, who was bailing him out? Shirley, we've got a letter. Before we continue on, I have a letter for Shirley. I have a letter for Shirley. Dear Shirley Strawberry, this is the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. I don't want to come off very hard on you, as you are a woman, a married woman that is in a situation that is very sticky. I'm writing in because you popped in my feed one day. I took a look at your video and someone said that I sounded like you, so I decided to take a look. And I said, oh, we kind of are similar in voice, right? And I said, there's something about that lady. Well, not to divulge all in this letter right here, I want to meet you where you are. And I want to encourage you to reach out to a professional and decide on what made you give an ex-convict a second chance. Because the world wants to know, we want to know, what is that like? You're on top, you're in your career, things are going amazing for you. You've been on air for over 2 decades, and your fraud husband, or his fraud schemes, behavior, and interactions with the law, like how does a woman in your lane, how did that happen? You don't have to answer right away, but when you do, tag me in the post or come on the show. QueenTulsaDirect@gmail.com. I love you. I'm praying for you. And I wish you the best. With love, Goddess Queen Tulsa.
Some businesses, some land to the city of Atlanta in 2016 from those first sets of business. In 2021, he opened a new location, Nesta's Grooming, which 2 doors down from the old location. That business has been dissolved partially because of what is going on today with him sitting in. So in other words, he's losing money from his businesses from being in here. And that has been testified also to by one of the law enforcement officers from Roswell. He had owned an unarmed security service, Nesto's Elite Security Company, where he had a number of 1099 persons working for him. Judge, my client has a number of felonies in his past. Those felonies go all the way back to the 80s. He's got he's got one in 2008, which looks like it is a merger, meaning when they're doing the sentence on one, they're doing the sentence on the other. And there is a deal, and my client decides to take the deal. His wife resides in Buckhead, and you will see, I think that is the Buckhead community. She doesn't say Buckhead on her affidavit, but she does reside in Fulton County and in Buckhead. Judge, his history, there's nothing in the last 10 years. He's never been in one of these cases accused him of attempting to pass somebody off as a lawyer. His co-defendant in that case has a consent signature bond that has been signed off on. I believe Mr. Majeski can tell you more about that when he do it. He has never himself been involved or accused or convicted of anything that involves a person passing themselves off as a lawyer or impersonating anybody ever in life. This last case that came about involves, if my understanding is correct, and I don't know because I haven't received discovery on it since it hasn't been indicted, a single photograph that was found on a computer that the prosecution, well, not even the prosecution at this point, I guess it's still the police because it's not indicted or accused, claimed was my client's, and that he was in possession of either the computer or the photograph that's on there. My client has never been accused of anything involving nudity or anything else with children. He has been convicted of things like armed robbery in his past, and that occurred in Cobb County. I believe he was sentenced to 5 years back then on that. Bank fraud when he came to pick up a check that they said was cleared, and he was arrested on the scene. That's his federal case. So that's the kind of stuff my client has been convicted of in his past. And so far, nothing else has happened on these cases. The oldest you've quoted the dates on, the youngest you've quoted the dates on, all of those dates are beyond the 90 days, some of them beyond 180 days. So what I'm asking for, Judge, is on every last one of these cases, if and where you can, that you enter in a unsecured judicial release that mirrors his co-defendant on one case that she has with him that was consented to, and on another case where there's 14 counts where she engages or is alleged to have engaged in similar behavior as to what she is accused of in this case. On the rest of them, Judge, I'm asking for a UJR, but in no instance of an amount of a bond greater than $5,000 per count. On one of the bonds, I believe that you signed, Judge, you tell him he can't be with his wife. I'm going to ask that you...
Is that Melody Scretchen?
No, it's the other lady, the SS lady.
Oh, Strawberry.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, let him be with his wife before we end up having a divorce matter in Fulton County. Judge, also, you tell him he can't reside. I have an affidavit. His wife is a person of some public notoriety. She's given me the affidavit, Judge. I did not file it in because if it's filed, she likes to kind of remain private where she can, when she can. And so she asked that you take the necessary measures. If you want that filed in the court, we can do that. We can publish it directly to you right now, so that her address doesn't become common knowledge for her public. Although she loves her public to death, she wants some privacy occasionally as well. And so that's what we're asking for, Judge. I believe that's the sum total of it. I'm sorry. There are two other matters that my client has in his history that I've been told of, but I haven't been provided with anything on. I understand that he has a warrant for a misdemeanor case out of Henry County that's still awaiting. And I've been told that there's a matter in California that the California doesn't want to extradite. I can't provide you. I wish I could give you more on that, but I can't. I don't have it. All right, so that's my request, and I thank you for hearing me.
All right, Ms. Patton?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on. This will be Kevin Majeski for the state judge, and this will also be ADA Lisa Taylor. I wish I could be quick on this one, Judge. This is an extremely dangerous person we're dealing with here, and there's going to be numerous upcoming warrants coming in this case. I believe Roswell told us today when we checked for an update. Before the 13th, there's going to be about 15 plus more warrants coming his direction, serious felonies in there, for sure.
All right, guys. So if you did not catch the 5 new charges that have come that way out of that 15, one is, I'll post it on the community wall because these are graphics, grapes. One of those in there. It's a lot. So I have 5 that I will post on the community wall.
The reason it was the 13th was so particular is because the last time that these particular cases were heard was in the month of January by Judge Belinda Edwards. She actually heard all the CP cases, and she also heard all the SC cases. Then she entered a ruling on one of the SC cases on the record, and for whatever reason, didn't put anything else on the record for the other ones. But Mr. Lewis and I had, I think it was a 2.5 hour bond motion on that particular one that day. This will be considerably shorter. Yes. But the Judge Edwards heard them back then. And if you note the bond order that she did file in, I believe it was on 2 SC 184403, she did not.
Okay, and so let's be mindful of this as well. Earnest, on or about May 5th of 2022 in the Northern District of Georgia, the defendant, Earnest Williams Jr., knowingly possessed at least one machine gun as defined in Title 18 United States Code, Section 921A23, and Title 26 United States Code, Section 5845B, that is at least one machine gun conversion device for a Glock handgun in violation of Title 18 United States Code, Sections 9220I and 924A2. Upon conviction of court of count 1, this is forfeiture. So he had violated and had a possession of a weapon when he was not supposed to have one. And then the forfeiture upon conviction of court of count 1 in the indictment, the defendant Earnest Williams Jr. shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to Title 18 United States Code Section 924D and Title 28 United States Code Section 2461 all firearms and ammunition involved in and used in the offense, including but not limited to. So he pretty much gonna have to give that up because he wasn't supposed to have it. He was not supposed to be in arm's reach of of that firearm. People, when you get out, there are conditions. If you're out on bond and things like that, or if you're on probation, you have a set of rules that you have to abide by. And it does not matter what you feel and what you think. It is a violation, and there are consequences that come behind it, right? Well, we've been here for an hour and 10 minutes. I would love to engage with you. I would love to engage with you all more. However, I'll drop the link to see if anybody wants to come up and sound off. And if not, I want you guys to go over and check out Alexis K. Tyler here on YouTube and on Instagram. And also Marie. She does my graphics. She's on Instagram. And Norris Tony, his channel is Norris Tony. He is here on YouTube. Okay. So, and shout out to our new member today. We got a new royal member by the name of Miss M. So Miss M is a part of the team. Welcome to the royal family. And welcome to the land of adventure. I want to thank you all for coming out and making this show a success. Please sound off in the comments if you are the replay gang. Thank you so much for watching. And the overnight shift. Or if you just pop me in your ear because, you know, it's been a long day. You needed something to relax you. I'm glad that I could do that for you with the help of all my sisters. Okay. And on that note, so long. It has been amazing. And I look forward to continuing to take the journey with you all. Miss M says, thank you. Okay. So on that note, you all know what it is and how I give it up. Girls need love too. And so do you. Until next time, so long.
Say we want